If I were to ask you which NFL division was the best in 2024, you'd probably say the NFC North, and with good reason. Outside of the Bears, each of these teams has won at least 11 games and found their way into the playoffs. But just a quick briefing on each of these teams' seasons. The Lions were top to bottom one of the best teams in the league this season. Dominant run game, explosive pass game, and while the defense was injured most of the season, they were still able to fight their way to a 15-2 record. For Minnesota, one of the bigger stories was Brian Flores' defense, suffocating opponents and taking the ball away. While on the offensive side, Sam Darnold surprisingly filled in very well for J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings rookie quarterback, who was injured in the preseason. And we're actually in the argument for maybe the third or fourth best team in the league this regular season. For Green Bay, they did win a lot of games, and the defense has improved as the season went on. But Jordan Love's health and his inconsistent play has been problematic for the Packers this season, along with not being able to beat a contender. But for most of the season, along with Philadelphia, these three were grouped as the best in the NFC. But let's just see how this stacked division ended this season. Week 17, the Vikings sneak out a win against the Packers after Green Bay tried to sneak into the game too late. Monday Night Football saw the Lions take on the 49ers, in which the Lions won to set up Week 18's game with the division on the line with Minnesota. Week 18, the Bears snapped their 10-game losing streak, their 11-game losing streak to the Packers, and a 10-year winless drought in Lambeau all in one afternoon, forcing Green Bay down to the 7th seed and securing the 6th seed for Washington. More on them in a minute. Then on Sunday Night Football, with the NFC North and the NFC 1 seed on the line, this game was actually a complete letdown. Jahmyr Gibbs turned into Barry Sanders, and Sam Darnold looked like he was still on the Jets. Detroit takes the North and clinched home field advantage, sending the Vikings to the 5 seed. Wild card round, Saquon Barkley and the Eagles boat raced the Packers. Detroit saw the Commanders book a trip to their place on Sunday Night Football, and the Vikings got blown out by the Rams, who weren't even using their own stadium. Divisional round, while the Vikings and Packers were at home, hoping TikTok didn't get deleted, they tuned in on Saturday night to see the Lions take on Washington. And with the best record in the NFL, having the conference's #1 seed for the first time ever, and having the best season in the history of the franchise, Detroit lost to a rookie, as Jared Goff spent all night pissing his pants and the defensive injuries being too much to overcome. Since the 0-2 realignment, there have now been 13 instances of divisions sending 3 teams to the playoffs. And this is the first time that all 3 teams in the same division were winless in the playoffs. I don't understand how a trio of teams that combined for 40 wins by an average of nearly 13 points does not produce a single playoff win for the NFC North. So for the regular season, absolutely this was a juggernaut division. But once the calendar hit January, they let it be known that they were the most fraudulent division in the NFL this season.